This video is how to remove your roof crossbars from your Hummer H2. If you see on mine, it's got 3 crossbars. Hummers normally came with 2 crossbars. I added a light bar to the front one, and as I was removing the other one, the bolt was frozen and I tried to force it off and it broke. So I'm going to give you a little advice on how to prevent that from next time. But this is how to remove the roof crossbar from your Hummer H2 so that you can either add some accessories or move it to where you want it, or shine it or clean it or whatever you want to do with it. This is how to take it off. The first thing you want to do is, unless you are freakishly tall, you are going to need to get yourself a ladder, climb up and get to the top of your Hummer up on the roof. All your crossbars have this dial screw on it. This is the one that I broke. So be very careful when you're unscrewing it. It's going to be very tight. It's been there for, what, 10 years or so before you're going to want to take it off. So loosen each one on each side till you get a little bit of play in your cross rail. Going all the way to the back of the Hummer on the rails, this is the rear light. You're going to have this little plastic piece. Down here there's a hole with a screw in it. You do not need to take that screw out. Don't be tempted to take that out. It's not needed. There's a tab right here. You want to push this tab in and pull up on it, and you'll get a little bit of play. Now this thing is in here pretty snug. Like I said, it's been in here forever. Get yourself a screwdriver, just start prying. There's a tab underneath that seems to get caught right in here. So you keep prying this way and upwards. And you keep working it and playing with it and working with it and playing with it, and eventually it does come out. And pops and cracks, but there we go, and it does come out. And here you go. Once you've taken both sides off and you've got your bar loose on both sides, you can do this with one person, but it sure does make it easier if you've got 2. You can wiggle, just keep wiggling the bar, it keeps coming, it gets to the end, and then it will lift right out. Don't worry about this, it just sticks right back in there. You know, Hummer, it's like nothing else, everything breaks. Then you can get your bar right off of there. Don't worry about this dirt, it's just dirt because my Hummer is not a grocery getter, it gets dirty. All right, once you've got your rail off, this is the thing you want to take off, loosen it. Here's your bracket, and this is the bolt. This is the bolt that you're going to want to lubricate or prevent rust. I don't care what you use, some Loctite rust neutralizer, WD-40, some blaster, I don't care. Put something on here, because when you go to take this off again, it's going to be awfully tight because it's going to have been sitting in there in the weather for probably a decade or so. So now you've done whatever you wanted to do with your bar. So here's the little clip, stick that back in there. Here's this, you come up from underneath and you just want to get that in just right about to there. You don't want to go any deeper because it's going to prevent this from moving up and down as far as it needs to get back on your Hummer. Now we've got the bar back up on the truck. Again, here's the back light. You sit in there, you get it in the track, you can lift it up a little bit to check that first hook gets into the groove here, and then you just kind of wiggle it. Like I said, 2 people is much easier than 1. You keep messing with it, and eventually, as I turn the camera here, you will get them both onto the track. You can look underneath and you can see that, make sure that J hook gets onto the track, and it'll slide back and forth for you, and then you can tighten it down and your bar will stay right where it is. So now we've got our crossbar on, we've got it tightened up good and tight so it doesn't go anywhere. Now we're ready to put this piece back on. Now putting it back on is a lot easier than taking it off. There's 2 tabs. They just slide in there, this comes down, and you're done. If I taught you something today on this video, if you could do me a favor and just subscribe at the link below, I would really appreciate it.